They really thought that they had us in the first half after that red day yesterday. But unfortunately for them, we followed our plan, came out swinging, and had a over $2,000 day today, trading NQ with 2 wins in front of over 1,000 of my students live in Team Bull.
How are we doing off those trades? We got Jay with 600, Louis trades at 235, 450, 700 for Chris, Lay 100, that ain't light, baby. 200, 1220 for Big Zoe, the Orb Master, 300 for Doug.
And in today's video, I'm going to break down the exact trades that I took, how I utilized my system, and how you can learn the exact strategy that I use and implement it as soon as tomorrow. So all I ask is if you get value from this video, if you appreciate the transparency, you tap in, hit that subscribe button, and let's learn and level up together, my friends. Now, let's first start by mapping out what we look at every single morning. First things first, we map out pre-market high and pre-market low. I want you guys to get in the habit of doing that every single day. So we're going to map out pre-market high, pre-market low. We always keep those blue to not interfere with our 15-minute high and our 15-minute low. Now, we see that in that, our pre-market high was right around that 15-minute high as well. So those levels were equaling each other, which if we ended up getting that move up, we would have had a different conversation than we had with the move down. However, we did not get that. We had a downtrend today. So with that 15-minute low here, we now have our levels in place to find some good trades. And you'll also notice I did start utilizing EMAs again recently. I used them a long time ago. I've been trading for 9 years. And I found through my back testing that I trade a little better with a little better accuracy when I have some guidance from my EMA. So that's why you're seeing those on my screen now. I'm constantly back testing, constantly bettering my game. And that's why I've made well over $3 million doing this. And I plan on making millions more in the coming years. Now, we see the first few candles down, midway, down. And then we see this aggressive candle through the trend setting candles here and here. Now, for me, I don't chase bottoms. I trade trends, which is higher lows and lower highs, and I trade reversals with multiple confirmations. This doesn't give me any confirmation for reversal down here. One could argue we had this pin bar here. You could try here with a stop below here, but the volume and price did not match up to where I could take a reversal with strong confidence. However, what I'm looking for at this point is a move back up to an area in here where I can short with stops above my trend setting candle, the candle that sets the trend and has the higher volume. And so I'm telling Team Bull live in real time that I'm watching for a move up, right? And by the way, too, I also trade live on my other YouTube at JDUN Trades. There's a little delay, but if you want to see what I'm about, if you've been wondering how my live trading is, I highly recommend you join me on at JDUN Trades. I'll put it below for live trading with a bit of a delay, but nonetheless, still very valuable. So I'm looking at the time for a move up into this 200 area. We have our 9 EMAs sitting there, whole site number, and with the wick of this trend setting candle up at 222, if we can take shorts in this area, we'll have about a 20-point max risk, a little more, for ideally a move to low of day. So we enter around this 200 area. I get filled around 198 in here. My stops are set, hard stops at 222, and I'm ideally targeting a 2R plus trade. When we get the move from 200 all the way down to below 180, right? This first flush of 180 around 175 is my first trim. We flush 170 down to 160s. This is my second trim down here. I take off a good portion of my position, and I'm waiting for now a move down to this 140 area and ideally low of day. I take a tiny bit more off below 160, and then I get stopped out on the rest up here on this move back to break even. So if this would have went down to my price target, it would have been a very, very nice day. But it didn't. And so I didn't get to capitalize on that full position. Still, nonetheless, 20 points of risk for, as you'll see here, 30, 40 points a gain. That's a win in my book. That's a 1.5 to 2R trade. I'll take that all day, every day. This setup alone will keep me profitable for life as long as I manage my risk and stop when I tell myself I'm going to stop on the losers. My second trade was up here. Now I see us coming up. We reclaim this. However, we're having trouble closing over the trend setting candle. So after this second failure and this reversal doji here, I try shorts on this move down around 218. I keep my stops above this candle here at 228. So I have about 10 points-ish of risk, right? With my fill, I got filled around 217. So a little over 10 points. And ideally, we're going to test again, low of day and breaking this down. Well, we didn't, again, we got the move from 218 area down to sub 200. I got one trim off at 200, and then it stops me out at break even on this push back up. So 15 point, 17 point trade there. Not great, not writing home about it, but nonetheless, got a 1R trim. Ended up today, multiple R's positive and 0 losses. And that's what I'm happiest about, because it doesn't matter so much, I guess win or loss, but what matters is I was very R positive today. And my biggest watch for the day, I was saying this all morning. You can go back and watch my YouTube live if you don't believe me. Go watch my live trading on the other channel. I was watching for a move in a 250 to 259, this previous 15-minute low. We got this move into 250. This would have been the short I took. I would not have taken this. I would have taken this as we got this aggressive move up. This volume was decent. However, we wicked, failed, reversal candle here. This would have been my entry at 240, stops above this 250 area or above 258. And I would have likely rode this down for a nice multiple R trade to the downside. I'm not going to say I would have entered here and sold here, but I would have caught this, likely sold some in here, trailed my stops to break even, and caught a nice part of this move down as well. Maybe not perfect, probably not perfect, but a decent move nonetheless. What I care about most, I make my money typically in these first few hours, and I go enjoy my day, because that's what I got into trading to do. I wanted freedom. And when you can produce discipline in your daily trading, that's what ends up being freedom for you in the long term. If you can't stay disciplined to be able to get off the charts, then you're not going to have a lot of success with this long term. It's not Pokemon. We don't have to catch them all. That's the biggest mistake that I used to make. I have to sit at the charts all day and catch every trade. And when that becomes your mindset, the one who tries to catch and master everything masters nothing. And that's what you really, really have to understand. So I want you guys trading smart, trading safe, staying focused, and choosing discipline over dopamine every single morning. If you can stick with that routine, stick with that focus, stick with that grind, put in the self-improvement work on yourself in your daily life, your trading will improve. That's a promise. I don't make promises I don't keep, but if you work on yourself, you go through the pain, you embrace the discomfort, your trading will improve. Optimize your system, optimize your mindset, and that's when you become rich in your mind and in your trading account. Trade smart, trade safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.